Hello friends, welcome to 19th Learning Curve. I am Gajendra. Today in part 2, we are going to study Introduction to C#. So in this session, we are going to study what is C#.NET, compilation process in .NET, basic C# program, and how to view MSIL code using ILDASM tool, that is Intermediate Language Disassembler tool, and how to use Intermediate Language Assembler, that is ILASM. So what is C#.NET? C# is a .NET compatible language which conforms to the Common Language Infrastructure standards of the Microsoft. It is a general purpose object-oriented programming language. That is, the code must be written within the classes. The most recent version is C# 7.3, which was released in 2018. C# is a strongly typed language, which means that the variables which we are going to use must be declared with their data types. Compilation process in .NET. .NET languages follow two-step compilation process. First, the source code is compiled to an intermediate language code by the language-specific compiler. This intermediate language code is called as Microsoft Intermediate Language Code, MSIL code. This MSIL code is then compiled to machine code by a CLR-provided just-in-time compiler. The recompilation is just-in-time, meaning it is done as soon as a function or subroutine is called. So let us consider the compilation. So first we are having the source code, which can be in multiple languages. So this source code is compiled into MSIL code by language specific compiler in the first step, and in the second step this MSIL code is given as an input to the just-in-time compiler, and JIT compiler converts this MSIL code into machine code. So that is the two-step compilation process in .NET. Now let us consider a program to understand the construct of the C#. So we will open Microsoft Visual Studio 2010, go to the file, new, project, and select the console application, and let us consider sample 1. Okay. Here some code is automatically generated. So let us consider this first line, this code. So this statement says that his system is the namespace and it is having some classes, and these classes will be utilized in this particular program. In the same fashion, using system.collections.generic, this statement says that if we are going to use some classes which are contained in the generic namespace. And see here there are three namespaces: system, collections, and generic. So this statement says that if there is a system namespace which contains collections namespace, and collections namespace contains generic namespace. Now let us consider this statement, namespace sample1. So sample1 is the project that we have created, and this sample1 is given as the namespace name. So namespaces can be of two types: .NET provided namespaces like system, system.collections.generic, system.link, etc., or it can be user defined as sample1, and within this namespace we will be defining the classes. So here the first class is class program. So this is a user defined class. We can change the name of this particular class, for example my class. As C# is an object oriented language, we have to write the code within the class. As C# is an object oriented language, we have to write every code within the class itself. So this is the class which contains a method called as static void main string array argument s. Here main is the method which acts as an entry point to your program, and it is defined as static because we have to call this method before creating the object of our class. So main method acts as an entry point and it must be defined as static, because a static method can be called without creating an instance of the class. So now let us write some code. Console dot write line welcome to C#. Each statement in C# must end with the semicolon. So here we are writing statement, a string welcome to C# onto the console, and on the next line let us write console dot read line. Now we have to build this solution. So for building, go to this build option and build solution. Now to run this program, press F5 or press this button, and we will get the output welcome to C#. So this is a simple program in C#. Again we will come back to our PPT. Now let us consider we have to perform three tasks. Task 1 is to view the MSIL code by using intermediate language disassembler. Task 2 is to import the MSIL code to a text file, and task 3 is to generate an assembly using the intermediate language assembler. In order to generate the MSIL code, we will be using a tool called as intermediate language disassembler. So for that, we will go to the Visual Studio command prompt. Start all programs, Microsoft Visual Studio 2010, then Visual Studio tools, and inside this tool, Visual Studio command prompt 2010. Now my file is contained here. So sample1, this sample1 bin debug. So as we are creating a console application, for a console application, whenever we are building, at that time an executable file is created. So this is the executable file which is created for the sample1. So let us copy this location and write ILDASM.exe. This is the intermediate language disassembler tool, and then mention the file name along with the full path. So I have pasted the path, and the name of the file is sample1.exe, and then hit enter. So let us compare our source code with this MSIL code. In our source code, we are having namespace sample1. So here sample1 namespace is mentioned. Inside the sample1, we are having sample1.myClass, which is the class that we have created. As we have not mentioned any constructor, a default constructor is generated by the .NET itself, and then we are having a static void main method, and then we are having this manifest. So to view the MSIL code, we can click on this, and then we are getting this MSIL code. So for this main method, we are having this MSIL code. For example, load string welcome to C#. Then we are calling the method this mscorrelate system.console.writeLine. Okay. Now let us consider, I want to import this MSIL code into a text file. So for that purpose, go to the file and then dump option and say OK. It will ask you for a location. So let us go to the G drive.net, and within that mention the name. So let us consider SAM1 and save. We have finished with the generating MSIL code by using the intermediate language disassembler. So to view that text file, go to the G drive, go to the .NET folder, and then this is the file. So we will open this file using Notepad. So sample sam1.i, and this is our intermediate language code. Now let us consider, we are having this file, and now we want to generate the exe by using this MSIL code. So it is possible by using the intermediate language assembler. So for that purpose, again go to the command prompt, then write intermediate language ASM, ILASM, and then give path of the file. Copy and then paste, and the name of the file, that is sam1.il. Here sam1.exe is automatically generated, and if we execute this file, then we will get the output. So welcome to C#. So first we generated the MSIL code by using intermediate language disassembler. Then we imported the MSIL code to a text file, and then we generated an assembly using the intermediate language assembler. So let us summarize what we have learned. So we have learned what is C#.NET. In that we have learned C#.NET is a .NET compatible language. Then we studied two-step compilation process in .NET. In the first step, the .NET code is converted into MSIL code by language-specific compiler, and in second step, the MSIL code is compiled into machine code by using just-in-time compiler. Then we studied a basic C# program. In this basic C# program, we learned system provided and user-defined namespaces. Then we studied main method as an entry point and how to write output to the console. Then we generated the MSIL code by using intermediate language disassembler tool. Then we imported this MSIL code to a text file, and then by using the intermediate language assembler, we created an assembly. So thank you for watching. If you are having any queries, then write into the comments below, or write us at take1.tricksen@gmail.com, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.